What is going on, YouTube? Today we're going to be doing some more no evidence, no sanity, no hiding, and no grace period rounds of Phasmophobia using my 10.62 times multiplier that we've shown off in other videos. But in case you're new to the channel or new to the community, we're going to show off those settings right now so you can go ahead and use them in your gameplay if you feel like doing so. Let's go ahead and see here. We have 100% ghost speed. We have our activity level low. We have event frequency low. I honestly recommend maybe turning this up from low in case you have a ghost event objective. It's going to be easier to get that done. Grace period is going to be 0. If you don't know what grace period is, think about it this way. The moment the front door slams at the start of the hunt, the grace period is the amount of seconds between when the door slams and locks for the hunt and when the ghost manifests to go ahead and find a player. If you have 0 grace period, you better have a crucifix on top of you or something, because if you don't, it spawns on top of you, you're dead, and the round is over. Evidence given is 0. Player settings over here are going to be 0 sanity restoration, 200% sanity drain, so that we have no sanity and no way to get any sanity back. Sprinting is on. Player speed is normal. Flashlights are on as well. I typically use flashlights so the people who are viewing these videos can see better and have a better quality lighting to be able to look at the ghosts, blinking patterns, and all those things around the gameplay. Then over here in the contract, we have 0-second setup time. We have weather is fog, but you can go ahead and set this to heavy rain if you want a little bit of an additional multiplier boost. Door starting opening are high. Number of hiding places is none. The number of official hiding places is none. So essentially what this means is if you ever go into a locker, it's going to be blocked off. If you ever go to a closet, it'll be blocked off. If you ever go to an area where there may be a bin that you can hide behind, there will be no bin. If you ever want to hide behind a bookshelf, usually that bookshelf won't be there. It'll be blocked off as well. So it's going ahead and eliminating traditional hiding spots, but you can get a little bit creative with hiding spots by hiding like underneath a countertop or going ahead and ducking behind something so the ghost doesn't see you there. You can get creative still to hide. Activity meter is off, sanity monitor is off, and we have the fuse box starting on at the beginning of the contract so we can test for Jinn immediately. And if the ghost ever turns the breaker off, we can go ahead and eliminate the possibility of Jinn as well. The only time the Jinn would ever turn off the breaker is if you have too many lights on and you overloaded the breaker with too much electricity. That's one thing to keep in mind. So I like to go ahead and keep that on just to go ahead and get rid of the Jinn immediately. Let's go ahead and get started here. I think we're going to go ahead and get started today with the OG Grafton Farmhouse. If you guys do not know, Grafton Farmhouse will be the next reworked map in Phasmophobia. And unlike Bleasdale's rework, where Bleasdale looks like a nice, very upscale cabin in the woods, Grafton is going to actually end up being a rundown and abandoned cabin in the woods that has a lot of structural damage to it that may even last some of the elements to get inside the map. So it's going to be a very, very different experience from Bleasdale. And I think it's going to be good because it's going to feel like it belongs in a horror game. Let's go ahead and get started here. Let's get into the game. All right, we're in. Let's go ahead and grab our key, open up the door here. Now, I just want to go ahead and answer a couple questions here because a lot of people wonder why I use the loadout that I do. I use the tier 2 head cam instead of tier 3 because I just don't like the way tier 3 looks. It narrows your point of view. It narrows like your field of view and it has a narrower screen. And I don't like the way everything looks green. And when the ghost is hunting, it goes ahead and causes so much electronic disturbance on the tier 3 head cam that it's almost impossible to see the ghost anyway. So I prefer the tier 2 head cam if I ever need it for the flashlight. I go ahead and use tier 2 incense because when you're looking for no evidence gameplay, you're looking to watch the ghost's blinking patterns and see how much it does and interacts with. If you go ahead and repel with a tier 3, it's going to stop the ghost from moving and you're not going to be able to notice nearly as much as you could have if it kept moving even a little bit. So I prefer the tier 2 because it's going to increase my chance of survivability and it's not going to go ahead and stop the ghost from moving altogether. Now, if you don't want to go ahead and impair the ghost movement at all, I recommend using tier 1 incense, but that's your call. I think tier 1 or tier 2 is better than tier 3 by far. And if you've ever been in a situation where you're hiding in a spot and you use the tier 3 incense, you're going to notice that the ghost is going to be standing right there, locked in place, just looking at you, and you're going to have to run out of that hiding spot and go somewhere else. What a terrible situation to be in. I just don't like tier 3 incense. And as far as the tier 2 crucifixes, I use tier 2 crucifix because the tier 2 crucifix has a 4-meter protection radius around it. If you have an Onryo, using a lit flame for a lantern is going to have a 4-meter protection radius, stopping the Onryo from being able to hunt around it. So if you put the lantern that's lit on top of a tier 2 crucifix, they're both going to have the same protection radius against an Onryo. 4 meters, 4 meters. That way, if the ghost goes ahead and it eats the crucifix before blowing out the lantern, you know for certain that you do not have an Onryo, because the Onryo would have to prioritize blowing out the lantern first before eating the crucifix. It has to do it. Hopefully that helps you give a little bit of a picture as to what my preferences are with gameplay and equipment. Let's go ahead and grab ourselves the flashlight, incense, and we're going to grab a salt container. I'm going to drop this stuff by the front door. We're going to come back to the van and we're going to grab more. That way I don't have to make as many trips back and forth to the van when I'm actually doing gameplay. Just drop that there. What are our objectives? Let's look at that right now. So we have capture a photo, repel, and wit and escape a ghost hunt. Not too bad. So the repel and the escape the ghost hunt, it could happen in the same instance, to be honest. That way, if you go ahead and repel the ghost, as long as you survive, you're going to get both of them done anyway. And if you go ahead and get a photo of the ghost during the incense too, even better. We'll see what we can do. We're going to grab another incense for a repel timer. We're going to go ahead and do a repel timer when we repel the ghost during a hunt. And if it hunts in less than 3 minutes, it's not a spirit. If it hunts in less than 1:30, it's a demon. So some ghosts have an indication of how long or how soon they can hunt again after a repel. Grab that. Going to grab 2 crucifixes to help protect me. With that 0 grace period, if the ghost spawns on top of me, this is going to be the only thing that's going to save my life. So we're going to need them, and I'm going to play on top of them. Throw them through the front door. That way, if I enter the location, it'll go ahead and eat that crucifix immediately instead of eating me. We have 0 sanity after all, so the moment I enter that location, it could hunt if it wants to. Since we need a ghost photo, let's go ahead and grab a photo camera. And I think we're just going to go ahead and grab another incense and 1 igniter just in case it's going to go ahead and be an Onryo. And I think we're good to go now. I think we're ready to get started here. Let's throw this stuff through the front door. So I want to go ahead and just kind of like do a quick overview of what ghosts I look to eliminate first on the first or second hunt. Immediately, I look to go ahead and eliminate Phantom and Oni. Doesn't have Phantom or Oni blinking. I look to see if it's going to walk through Sol for Wraith. I look to see if it's going to have speed boosts from far distances for Jinn and Revenant. I look to see if it's going to be a fast ghost at all. For the possibility of a Moroi, Deojin, Thay, Fast Twin, Raiju, Hantu, or Revenant, or anything like that. Any fast ghost, I'm trying to go ahead and eliminate that first. If I can go ahead and see its blinking patterns for a long time, I'll try to rule out Obake. I like to see or listen to how much stuff it's throwing for the first hunt to go ahead and be able to rule out the possibility of a Poltergeist. And then towards the very end of the hunt, I try to go ahead and repel it to go ahead and rule out Spirit or Demon to see when it hunts again. So those are kind of like my first low-hanging fruit, if you will, of ghosts that we can eliminate off of just hunt number 1. So here we go. We are going in. After I pick up this stuff here, we're going in 3, 2, 1. I definitely want to go ahead possibly and head over to this table area. The reason I love the... Love this table because if I crouch behind here, I can see underneath the table, but the ghost cannot see me behind here because my head is technically lower than the top of the table. Now, I will go ahead and point out that I don't hear any ghost footsteps right now. Now, I do. Okay, just come over here if I can. Come here, ghosty. It's inside the twin bedroom. And it just stopped hunting altogether. Okay. Well, sadly, since I hunted from upstairs, we didn't get to observe nearly as much as I wanted to. But still, just from the first hunt, we do have a couple observations. First and foremost, I could tell the ghost was not a fast ghost. It sat at relatively normal speed. Had like that general, like, step, 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 step. I know that wasn't a very good impression. I do apologize. But you can tell from that it's definitely a normal speed ghost. So it's not going to be a Thay that's young. Young Thay, when you're not inside the ghost room to age it, is very, very fast. It has no line of sight speed. It just starts fast at the start of the hunt. That didn't happen. Since we're on a 0 sanity run and the Moroi is faster the lower the player's sanity is, it's not going to go ahead and be a Moroi because a Moroi should be faster by now too. The Deojin always knows where a player is no matter what. It'll rush to the location at the start of the hunt, and when it gets to them, it'll slow down. That did not happen at all, so no Deojin. The Revenant, when it does not know where a player is, will have like 1 footstep every single second. It'll be super slow. But the moment it has any idea where the player is, it'll rush towards that location at 3 meters a second. Since the ghost wasn't super slow either, I know it's not a Revenant. We didn't get a chance to get it to walk through salt or anything. I didn't even get a chance to look at its blinking patterns very well. So I will not go ahead and eliminate any of those ghosts for the time being. I didn't even get a chance to repel it yet, so we don't know. We're going to get back in there and go ahead and decipher some more information. Another thing, too, that I can eliminate is probably miling. I was able to hear the ghost's footsteps well. You were able to see that I turned on my flashlight mid-hunt, and my flashlight was not blinking, but I still heard the ghost's footsteps. The miling's footsteps can only be heard in the range that you're getting electronic disturbance. So if you're hearing those footsteps with your flashlight on mid-hunt, and you're hearing them from far away, as long as they're on the same floor as you, it's not going to be a mile. Now, I want to go ahead and mention that on the same floor as you, because when the ghost is above you or below you, you're going to hear those footsteps no matter what, because the game is adding a significant amount of bass to the footsteps to make them louder. So do not do the miling test on a different floor than you. Go ahead and put some salt down. I think I only have one thing of salt in here. If I had another one, I would put it right there at the bottom of the staircase for when it came down. All right, we'll see what we can do here. Maybe go ahead and give me a second incense, and we'll see if we can get it to come down the stairs in real time so I can watch for Obake blinking patterns, Oni blinking patterns, and for Phantom. Just the fact, too, that it's not hunting for so long after I did not repel it. There's nothing stopping it from hunting right now. It's a very interesting sign of something. Usually most ghosts on 0 sanity will keep wanting to hunt over and over and over again. And sometimes if it doesn't, it could be a sign that it's a mirror that doesn't like the light being on, a shade that doesn't like you being in the area, an Aria that is scared of flames, or something of that nature, a ghost that's afraid of something, or decreases activity with a certain catalyst in the location. Not saying that's necessarily the case this round, but it could be. There you go, the door is shut, it's hunting. It must be way back there in that bedroom on the far end of the house, because I don't hear anything. Here it is. Okay, you can tell those blinking patterns are pretty normal. It's not hard to see. It's not simple to see, so it's a normal blinking pattern ghost. I am starting the timer after the repel now to see how long it takes it to hunt again. And we're going to wait out the hunt, and the hunt is now over. Cool. So it's been 11 seconds since I've repelled. We're going to see how long it takes it to hunt again. Now we have a general idea of where the ghost is coming from, and we have some more ideas of what ghost it isn't. So no Phantom blinking, no Oni blinking. I didn't see it shapeshift to a different ghost model mid-hunt for Obake, so we're going to say no to that. Sadly, it didn't walk in the salt yet, so I don't really know. We're testing for Spirit and Demon now with the repel timer, and we know for sure that the ghost got faster the longer it saw me during the hunt, meaning every second or so that it saw me in line of sight during the hunt, it kept speeding up. Hantu is not capable of that. Faye is not capable of that. And for all intents and purposes, neither is Deogen, because the Deogen gets to the player's location and slows down. So those are 3 ghosts that cannot do that. Oh, look at that. The ghost is hunted after 1 minute and 3 seconds after the repel. The only ghost that can hunt 60 seconds after a repel, or even less than 1 minute and 30, is the demon. So we either have a demon or we have a mimic mimicking a demon. One or the other. Wonder where my photo camera is. Oh, we didn't make it in time to go ahead and get the photo, but that's okay. So for right now, we're going to go ahead and say that it's probably a demon. The mimic will change ghost types every 30 seconds to 2 minutes. And you would hope that after the 30 seconds to 2 minutes where it changes a ghost type, it's going to change to something else that's not the one ghost that you have. There's 24 different ghosts in Phasmophobia. The probability is well in your favor on those odds. So hopefully we can go ahead and see, is it going to do another early hunt for a demon? Or is it going to go ahead and hunt after a long duration and no longer be a demon? Now, there's actually another thing you can do to go ahead and improve for Mimic if you'd like to. It revolves going into the ghost room, but you can look for Mimic orbs. Now, you may be asking yourself, Rotator, how can I find Mimic orbs if this is a no evidence run? That's a great question. So look at this right here, okay? Mimic's evidence, really, is Spirit Box, Freezing, and UV. That's a Mimic. Now, the orbs that are with a Mimic are fake. So if you cannot have 4 evidences. You can't have 4 evidences at all. So since they're fake evidence, even on a no evidence run, the orbs will be there. And if you ever see orbs in no evidence gameplay, you automatically have a Mimic. There's no other possibility it could be that anything else but that. So we can bring this in if we'd like to go ahead and try to get those orbs. Now, we think the ghost is spawning up in the back bedroom there, or maybe in the storage area beyond the bedroom, one or the other. I'm going to go ahead and put some salt down here. We still have another incense right here, so I'm going to utilize that as well. Also, the demon is a ghost that eats crucifixes at bigger radiuses than any other ghost in the game. The reason for that is the demon is actually very sensitive and very susceptible to being crucified. So, for instance, this 4-meter radius protected crucifix is going to have a much bigger radius of impact against this demon, if it is a demon. So for that reason, I'm going to throw it right there. Maybe it'll go ahead and crucify it by some chance. And if it does, we'll get a free photo out of it. The ghost actually just went ahead and ate the crucifix. It did indeed. Where is my photo camera? Go ahead and grab our photo camera and go up there and go take some photos. So one of these should be an interaction, and one of them should be a burnt crucifix. Oh, wow, it ate it again almost immediately. That was pretty quick. So we got 4 photos into that. If you're wondering why one of them is an interaction and why one of them is burnt crucifix, it's because when the ghost interacts with anything, even a crucifix, there is an EMF radius field that's there. As long as the EMF reading is there and it has not worn off yet, you will get an interaction photo from whatever the ghost has interacted with. And then obviously you're going to go ahead and get the burnt crucifix photo as a result of it burning the crucifix. So we got the interaction from the ghost interacting with the crucifix to eat it, and then we got the burnt crucifix photo. That's great. So we got 4 photos in total from that. Now I want, oh, it's hunting again. And you can tell this is very, very aggressive. Ghost, can you go ahead and walk through this salt as well? Come here, Ghosty. Repel. Oh, missed the photo. That's okay. We're going to go ahead and start our timer for the demon timer again for the repel. I don't really worry too much about missing ghost photos on those little scenarios there, but I do like to go ahead and hit it with a tier 2 repel to go ahead and slow it down so I have a better chance at lining up my photo. And if I miss it, I just go ahead and delete it and try again. Let's go ahead and grab our photo camera again so we have a second attempt at that. If the ghost were to go ahead and event on me, I would get a free photo from the event. This goes back to having the low frequency for events. Makes it very hard to get ghost photos, and you have to try to get them during a hunt. So my recommendation to most people who want to do this custom is to go ahead and increase the event frequency. You're going to find yourself being a lot happier with it. And it's now been 57 seconds since the repel. Is it going to hunt here? Let's see. I'm also going to go ahead and take my crucifix. I'm going to go ahead and put it a little bit closer just in case the ghost roams down to come towards me. Because you can always change rooms, right? In case it's in that bedroom or it's inside that hallway. If it roams down here to the foyer or the foyer, it's not going to go ahead and eat me. It'll go ahead and eat the crucifix instead. Makes me feel a little bit better about the situation. And it's now been 1 minute and 20 seconds since the repel. And the ghost is not hunting. I know it's not hunting because I can open the door. So it has not done the early hunt as of right now. So this is a big red flag that we either have a lazy demon that's not doing what a demon should be doing of early hunting. And there really is nothing saying the demon has to early hunt. It's just a chance, right? Depends on what the ghost is doing and when it decides to hunt. But we should probably go look for orbs, right? And if we do have orbs, we'll know if it's a mimic. That's why we brought the video camera in after. But I'm not going to go up there right this second because I don't have a defensive up there. I wanted to let it hunt. I want to repel it again, take my photo, and then while it's being repelled and we're stopping it from hunting for a little while because the repel stops the ghost from hunting, we're going to go ahead and try to see if we can get the orbs. And it spawned in the hallway. Here we go. Got the photo that time. See where it goes. Side you coming from? Go on that side. Ghost photo has been acquired. Ghost is coming in here, and it's done. Lovely. Let's go ahead and go look for orbs real quick. Now, that ended up hunting around 2 minutes after the repel. Let's see here. So it hunted right here. Right here, I saw it spawn. I don't see any orbs up here in the hallway. I hear the bathroom sink on. And I don't see any little orbs inside the bathroom either. For the heck of it, I'm going to go look in this room as well. And there's no orbs here either. So likely this is not going to be a mimic. This is just going to go ahead and be a lazy demon. We have way more photos to take as well, but I want to go get another incense so I have another protective item on me to go ahead and protect myself. And while we go ahead and do that, when we come back inside, we're going to start getting a lot of soul photos. Give me that. Give me another photo camera. I'm going to be honest. My biggest obstacle, my biggest struggle in Phasmophobia is losing this photo camera or my crucifix. I'm like, I don't know where they went. It's a rough time. 2 and 3. I think we got 1, 2, 3 over here too. Cool, we're full. We're full on photos. If we can find the bone, fantastic. If not, no big deal. I typically don't spend too much time finding the bone unless I'm really trying to get that perfect game. And I think mostly it's because my observation skills when I'm trying to find the bone are just not present. They're just not present. I don't know what the deal is. I can spot a ghost's blinking pattern super well, but when it comes to finding a bone, I can just walk right over it and not even know it's there. The ghost is hunting right now. Hopefully it doesn't come in here. Let's see. Sounds like it's far enough away I can keep looking for bone while it's hunting. Nothing in here. No bone there. That's a phone. You're not my dad. It's a cell phone. All right, let's go ahead in here. No bone on the floor so far. Go check out the master bedroom here. I am super excited to see the Grafton rework. Let me know in the comments what you guys think of the Bleasdale rework so far. Like, if you've played it, what do you think of it? Because I really like the Bleasdale rework. I think it's one of my favorite maps now. It seems like it has a theme, and it just looks so nice, so detailed. No bone here either. The bone is probably upstairs somewhere with the ghost, which I'm down to go look for real quick, but we have to go ahead and repel the ghost to be able to get up there. That way we can go ahead and ensure that it doesn't hunt for a few. Oh, here I come. Come here, ghosty. How about over here? Repelled? Running? There's the bone right there. I see it. And the bone's acquired. Gonna hide behind these lockers, and I believe the hunt is over now. So we should have a perfect game right now. We have all of our objectives completed. We have all 3-star photos, and we have potentially the correct ghost type. We hope. That's all you need to get a perfect game in Phasmophobia. And if you've never gotten a perfect game before, you're gonna see how much extra money and XP you get from having that in a second. Let's get back to the van here. We already have demons circled in our journal. Let's get out and go ahead and get our reward. Goodbye, Harold. Demon. Demon it is. So here inside of your payout description, you're going to see that you have a perfect investigation bonus, giving you $230. So $230 also translates into 230 experience. So if you're a newer player in Phasmophobia, that's not too bad. That's going to help you out tremendously in those earlier levels to try to get your tier 2 and tier 3 gear. Or if you've prestiged, trying to go ahead and give back what you lost when you prestiged. There you go, $4,554. We did get a daily done. That gave us an additional $100, but that's a pretty good payout nonetheless. Let's go ahead and do another round. And I think I'm going to go ahead and do another round on Ridgeview. I'm going to say that my 2 favorite maps in Phasmophobia are Willow and Ridgeview. Both of them have fantastic looping capabilities and have a lot of hiding potential even on no hiding rounds. And they're very good for observing ghost ability. I'm going to show you why inside of this round.
All right, we're here.
Grab the key, open up the door. Flashlight, incense, igniter, salt. Drop it out the front door again. Same thing. It's like a method. It's like a process, essentially. You go ahead and get yourself set up. You go ahead and eliminate those low-hanging fruit ghosts, the simple ones, and you just keep going over and over again. This is my process for running these. This is what I do every single time on stream when I play these games, several times a week. This is kind of what it's all about. Another incense for the repel timers, 2 crucifixes inside. And we're going to throw all this stuff in the front door because, 1, we want the crucifixes to protect us. Secondly, we don't need the other repel right now. We'll need it later on. So we're getting all this thrown in. Go ahead and check objectives right now. Repel, Cruci, and Cleanse. Those are some pretty good objectives. Crucifix can be a little bit of a pain depending on if you know where the ghost is coming from or not. But the Cleanse and Repel, very, very straightforward. Photo camera. I will bring 1 firelight in case it's an Ario again. And I think that's probably all I'm going to need at this time. Maybe I'll grab another incense because why not? We're going to need to come back for more salt too to get more photos. But for right now, this should be good to get us started. Throw this in the front door. Let's get started here. We're going in 3, 2, 1. Get those lights on. Saw going down around my looping spot, the table here. Ooh! Stepped in Saul to slow it down. 1, 2, 4. The reason I was counting after the rappel is because I wanted to know. Hold on. Time to go. Are we gonna outrun this? I don't know. I don't know. Oh, all right. Okay. Wow. Thoughts. Well, the ghost is right there. Just outside of our crucifix range. The reason I was counting down after the rappel is because a Moroi, which would be very fast as well at the start of the hunt at this point, since we have no sanity, is a ghost that gets repelled for 7.5 seconds after a rappel. So if you repel a Moroi, it gets disoriented for 7.5 seconds. So essentially, if you have tier 2 repel, you just go ahead and count down how long is it slowed and when does it regain its speed to be able to establish, was it 7.5 seconds or was it like 5 seconds like every other ghost when they get repelled. So I counted about 5, give or take. I don't think it's going to be a long repel time. All right, ghosts went ahead and blew out the lantern. Let's go ahead and take a photo of that. 3 photos of Salt right here. And we got our crucifixes here to hopefully protect me because my God, that was close. That was so close. Now, we're going to go ahead and quickly eliminate every normal speed ghost from the game. Spirit, Halter, Mare, Demon, Yokai, Myling, Obake, Onryo, Yuri, Banshee, Wraith, Phantom, Shade, Oni, Goryo, and that's it. Every other ghost you see on this list right now has an opportunity to be faster. Every single one of them has a certain catalyst that's going to make them be fast and certain requirements for them to be fast or slow. So we're going to go ahead and try to observe those in real time and explain them as we go along. The ghost just went ahead and did a breath event on me. If you ever see that breath event happening where it's a white cloud of smoke, some people like to call it the ghost fart, particularly me, and that would mean that you don't have an Oni in that situation. So the Oni can't do that specific ghost fart, ghost breath, ghost mist event, whatever you like to call it. Now, I think this ghost is incredibly fast. Could it be a Revenant? Maybe. I'm not sure if it was able to detect me all the times or if it lost me at any point in time. Okay. Can I get a photo of that? Hold up. Is that interaction? See? Interaction, it was not. So it probably was an event. Hunted on top of me. If it ever hunts on top of you like that, more than likely it's not going to be Shade. Just threw the cup on the table. That's interaction photo. All of our objectives are already done. You know what I'm going to do? I am going to back up over this way. And I want to see what it sounds like when it doesn't know where I am right away. Oh, just say it together, crucifix as well. Maybe I'll get that crucifix out of there too. Hold on, Ghost. Thank you for the free photo. And thank you for these photos over here too. You're being very generous. Come here, Crucy. Let's save you. Listen to that speed. That's really, really fast. I think it went upstairs. You can hear a lot of bass to its footsteps. If the footsteps are above you, it has bass. If the footsteps are below you, it's muffled. Here it comes. Okay. Interesting. Let's go ahead and eliminate a couple of ghost possibilities real quick before it hunts again. All right. The Jinn is only fast when it sees somebody from 3 meters away with the power on. It'll go from normal speed to a faster ghost almost instantly when it sees the player from that distance. That did not happen. It never saw me that first hunt there, so it's not a Jinn. The Revenant will be super slow when it doesn't know where a player is, and only speed up when it knows their location. That didn't happen either. No Revenant. The Deojin always knows a player's location and will rush there at the start of the hunt. No Deojin. Now we're down to a fast twin, which is definitely, the fast twin is only a little bit faster than normal speed. This is above and beyond so much faster than normal speed. There's no shot this is fast twin. If you ever hear a speed like this, fast twin is not an option. Now, Hatu is only fast in colder rooms, and when it moves outside of colder rooms, it should be slower, especially if the power's on and it's not snowing outside. Oh, there's another breath event right there. Fart. Ghost fart. So since it was even fast upstairs after it left the main area of the ghost room, it's not a Hatu. So we're down to Raiju, which siphons electronic energy from active electronic equipment from our van to speed itself up. We'll see if that's possible. I don't know if I have anything over there that's on. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. The Moroi would have the long rappel, and Moroi does have line of sight speed. What I want to know is, does this ghost have line of sight speed? Would this ghost get faster the longer it sees me when I loop it around that table? That's the question. We're gonna have to find that out before we go. I do love that they went ahead and they changed the song on the piano to the music box song. What's hunting? Come here, ghost. We got some looping to do. Come on now. Now let's see, is it gonna get any faster? I do not think so. It didn't seem like it got any faster anyway. Seemed like it kind of maintained that speed the whole time. Now what we could do, again, is we could do the rappel timer again, but instead of counting down ourselves, we have a lot of opportunity for human error, let's be honest. Sometimes I get a little bit nervous during the hunt, especially if it spawns right next to me, and I don't count as accurately as I should. So maybe we could do a rappel and then start the timer and see let the timer be the source of truth. Does it have a long rappel time? Does it have a long rappel duration of 7.5 seconds? I think that's probably going to be our best scenario here. Because another thing I'm thinking of right now is that there's no electronic upstairs. So there's no electronic equipment up there. So the Raiju wouldn't be fast upstairs anyway. So no Raiju. So you're down to Mimic, Thay, and Moroi. And the battle between Thay and Moroi is, does it have a long rappel duration? Does it have line of sight speed? Thay doesn't have line of sight speed. Moroi does. Thay doesn't have long rappel duration. Moroi does. Timer started. I think that actually may be a Moroi after all. I think so. That did seem to be 7 seconds in the rappel timer. So when I went ahead and I repelled it, it got slowed for at least 7 seconds according to my timer, which is longer than 5 seconds for the Thay or any other ghost in the game. This could be a Moroi. And look at the bone! We got the bone right there. Perfect. What do you say for the heck of it, we loop it one more time, just for fun? That table spot in Ridgeview is one of the best looping spots in the entire game. It is a perfect size to go ahead and compensate for your character's amount of stamina that it has. And you can go ahead and hit your sprint button when you're on the longer sides of the table, and then stop using sprint on the shorter sides of the table. That way you're constantly regenerating your sprint and your stamina. That way you never really run out. And if you go ahead and you're just constantly using your stamina and your sprint only when you need it, you will have enough stamina throughout the entirety of the hunt duration. It's a good spot. If you have graduated from crouch looping and car looping, this is your next step to try to see if you can loop around the Ridgeview table. Also, I do like that when you play the piano very quickly, it sounds like it's an arcade game. Oh, here we go. Ghost one out over here. Get your butt down here, Ghost. Here she comes. Howdy. I can kind of hear a little bit now. The more I listen to it, the more I can hear the increased line of sight speed. It's very difficult to kind of be able to pinpoint that because you're going from a ghost that's already super fast to a ghost that's even faster than fast. And it's like you're almost listening for like micro pixels in audio to hear a little bit of a faster increase in speed. But the thing that probably should have gave it away the first time that I looped it was the initial loop around the table. It was going ahead and it wasn't overshooting the corners. But when it got faster, it was starting to shoot so far that it almost hit that pillar over there in the wall. And like, that's how far it was, and that's how fast it was. It was making so many mistakes when it was turning that it was overshooting the turn and having to correct itself, which is a sign of a very, very fast ghost that's getting faster and faster. All right, let's go ahead and get out of here. Let's go ahead and lock in Moroi and take our perfect game money. Because we got all of our objectives. We got all of our 3-star photos here. We got a bone. We had an easy bone spot. Let's Moroi it out. When in doubt, Moroi it out. Let's see. Did we get it? We did. Moroi. Perfect investigation bonus. $235 on that one. $4,560 in XP there. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the No Evidence gameplay. If you have any questions about No Evidence gameplay or my custom difficulty or anything you saw during the course of this video, or you just want to leave some feedback, make sure you comment down in the comment section below. Thank you so much for your time, and until I see you all next time, stay crispy.